Three Wise Radio. Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
Is the Y-Wing new or newly put out?
No, it's just put out.
Same with the TIE Fighter?
Yeah, I switched some stuff out I still got to figure out where to put some stuff. It's all still.
See, this is great. You guys, since you guys don't have cats and you have a dog instead, like, you can do this. I couldn't do this.
Because a cat would just...
let
me stand on this and just walk through everything.
Knock it over.
Cats are the coolest.
That's
why you have to worry about the cat.
I wish we could have a cart for, like, glassware and, like, whiskeys and stuff, but we can't because we have cats.
That's coming. That's going to be a lounge area now.
I mean, like, I can't even have that cart you guys have in the kitchen with all the glassware and
well,
stuff
that's an island. That's a mobile island.
So is it literally just knocking stuff over, or do you have to worry about them eating it too?
No, they don't eat it. They just like to.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
My cats like to eat plastic. They'll chew on plastic.
Do they? Mm-hmm. See?
Cats just like to like. Oh, this is a thing.
Is it still a thing?
That's literally what they are. Fuck that thing. Oh, did you put that there? I like it better right there.
These sound like such lovable creatures.
They're not. They're assholes.
It doesn't help that our cats are smart and like. If you put like a Tupperware container with food in it, they'll know there's food in there, and they will knock it off the countertop to try and get it. They're not stupid.
Cats suck.
I love them.
I brought you this dead thing.
Dogs do that too.
Not as often as cats do.
No.
I've had dogs bring me dead rabbits before. And
I think that's got something to do with you.
You've never had a dog bring you something dead?
I think you're just really giving off a dead rabbit vibe.
All right.
No, I mean, I've only had one dog, and Lando's never brought me anything. Except pure joy.
I've had no dogs, and I've had dogs bring me stuff. But I've lived with many dogs over my life. All this and more stories from our childhood.
Like the 90s?
Like the 90s. Today on the show. Welcome to Three Wise Radio, a podcast where we talk about movies, comic books, TV, technology, the internet, and pretty much everything else media related. My name is Joe Greller. I am one of the Three Wise Guys. Joining me are the other two wise guys, Garrett Welker and Sam Pixley. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hello.
How are you?
A lot better. We've got air conditioning this week.
We're not
We
dying
do.
right
How's
now.
that weather treating you?
It's fine. Actually, it's a great day out. Like
It really
I went out this morning and it was like, this is a fantastic day.
It's not fall yet, but that's okay.
That's fall weather. 70 degrees ish. That's fall weather.
It doesn't feel like a 70. The
This
sun's
is
too
cool summer weather.
The sun's
No.
too strong.
See, no.
The sun's too strong.
Give me a bright day with like a 70-degree weather. That's a good fall
not
day.
70
I don't want
today.
brisk.
A brisk day. Brisk is fall though.
Brisk is the start of winter.
The sun is too powerful to constitute fall.
See, no. When I think fall, I think September, October. When I hit that November area, I'm thinking that's more winter. Because
So that's the thing. But do you know when winter actually starts?
Yeah, late December.
Yeah.
But do you know when actual fall is and actual winter is? It's December, January, February.
I mean, but
that's actual winter.
But that's not actual. There's no
there's no what?
There's no spectrum for that. That's just in your mind.
Well, who came up with the, like, this is the summer solstice,
Farmers.
and this is, see? And I thought we covered this on an earlier podcast. They're irrelevant now.
It's like 80 degrees right now, Joe.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It wasn't this morning.
Okay.
Oh, well, what do you mean when the sun wasn't out?
No, at 10 a.m. the sun was definitely out.
But it's not booming.
Sun's been out for a while. It's heated up the world, so
Right.
it's warm now.
Science.
It is now not fall weather.
But you're right, though. If you go outside, like in the morning, you can get a splash of fall. Like, you're right. You get an idea of what fall is, but then the sun comes up and it's like, by the way.
I prefer my fall where if I have on, like, long sleeves, that's good enough. I don't want a jacket. That's not...
No, fall weather is
Sweater
the
weather.
greatest outfit
Sweater
of
weather.
all time, shorts and a hoodie or long sleeve tee. You'll get no argument from me. That's the best weather because it's crisp.
I think we've spent enough time talking about the weather.
False. We don't have a second segment, so we can talk all day about weather. Small talk radio here.
How's the weather, Joe?
Let's take a look at some headlines.
What's new?
Starting with X-Men director Bryan Singer has reportedly revealed that Mr. Sinister will be in Wolverine 3. I say with a question mark because no one apparently knows. In a scene...
No, he confirmed that Sinister will be.
Did he confirm?
That's
He
what I
reportedly
read.
revealed, is what I'm reading. I don't know.
It's the same thing.
Well, we talk about this all the time. No, because we've done this before where we've talked about something on the podcast, and I'm like, we've talked about that. And then Sam will tell me, well, it wasn't confirmed. It was.
Right, but revealed is...
It's essentially the same thing.
That's what I said, and he told me no last time.
No, there's reported, and then there's revealed. Like if I were to...
To me, you're saying the same thing in three different languages.
not necessarily, because if I were to... I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy that's not
No,
inappropriate.
because like
I can't think.
if we were to report something, we have nothing to back up whether or not it's true.
Like most news sources.
But if we reveal something, like I really don't know. Like if we reveal our next guest, like that's a confirmed thing.
Yeah.
Unless something happens with that guest and it falls through, but like
I just keep wanting to say, if you can cut this out of the moment, I just keep wanting to say, if I were to report that Garrett had huge junk, that would be non-substantiated, not confirmed. But if I were to reveal his giant junk, that would be a confirmation.
Thank you.
Do you see how that is?
Thanks for the ego boost here, Sam.
You see how that relates, though? That's what it is, though, right? I can't think of anything else.
Other than Garrett's giant junk. Yes, we've got that. No.
Dr. Sinister, Mr. Sinister, though.
I got it. It just that took
Why is Singer reporting this?
that number one, which makes me think maybe it's not true. I don't know, but okay. Singer and Kingsburg were talking about how they originally, since they teased him in the last X-Men Apocalypse at the end credits,
Essex Corp,
that they talked about possibly bringing him in Deadpool 2, making him the next villain in the X-Men movie. But according to Cinema Blend, an audio commentary, which is accompanying X-Men Apocalypse, Singer and Kingsburg are talking, and why Singer's doing... Oh, wait, X-Men Apocalypse. Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
You're so thrown off.
I am, by Garrett's giant junk.
It's inescapable.
In a scene where they talk about, during the end credits, they're saying that audiences will apparently get to see his reveal in X-Men 3. So you also don't know. That's going to take place in the future. You don't know if that's going to be...
Right, and also, like, you could say that, like, what the Marauders are supposed to be the villains.
Right.
In that. Then you could argue that, like, oh, well, maybe the Marauders in this take will be different people that he has mutated to try and get another Wolverine. But we already kind of had that next, too. With...
Yes and no. I mean, Lady Deathstrike is her own...
Right, but we kind of have that, like, it's another one of him.
Yeah.
Are we going to fight, like, 5 more of him?
Probably. I mean, you can't do the Old Man Logan storyline, so you have to come up with something on your own.
Right. I'd like to see Sinister. And it makes sense that this will be the foundation for the next Wolverine, which, God, if it's X-23.
Quick question on that. With talking about Old Man Logan and how much they can really put in, I'm not that familiar with the story. What can they actually keep from Old Man Logan?
Nothing.
No, yeah.
Nothing. It's all his best friend is Hawkeye in the story. Nothing. He fights Red Skull, Venom, the Hulks, Bruce. Then at the end, the only thing that they can show is
him being old.
The X-Men dead.
Is him slaughtering all the X-Men, and then when he's like, "Who made you do it?" Some guy that's not Mysterio. Some guy with a bubble head couldn't make it out who he was. That's it. That's all you can do. Other than that, you got nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
So they can't really do anything.
Damn.
Isn't that funny?
Moving on to some confirmed news. Jurassic World was apparently confirmed now to be the start of a new trilogy.
Well, that's a big reveal.
Yeah. Not really.
Well, didn't we already know that?
Apparently not. According to Jurassic World 2 director Antonio Bayoya, he's saying that it is, in fact, Jurassic World is now a trilogy, and that it went into, when writing this film, expanding upon what could be done in future installments.
Do you think that that's how he phrased it? Or when somebody like asked him about it, he was like, yeah, did you see how much money this thing made? Yeah, it's a trilogy. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
Okay, his exact quote is, "We're writing the second chapter, and it's very interesting where the story is leading."
Yeah.
Okay. They're all just dinosaurs that fight other people. Although they did try and sprinkle a little something with, like...
military, Black Ops.
Yeah.
Well, because originally they had always been toying around with, like, Raptor super soldiers.
True.
Because the concept art is there.
Yeah.
For that. It's just interesting to see if... Because that is, unfortunately, the path that is being led down right now.
Yeah.
I'm also worried about you getting... Because these are movies that, I mean, there's only so many things you can do. I fear for a Jurassic World 2 where it's, like, Chris Pratt gets locked in a, like, military base where there are raptors around.
See, I fear for the fact if it's called, like, Jurassic World 2. Like, say what you want. I've never truly seen all of the third one or all of the second, because the one time I tried to watch it with you, I fell asleep.
Oh, shame on you.
But they were other stories. Like they were sequels, but it was The Lost World. I know it's called Jurassic
Makes
Park
sense,
3,
but
but
it
like you
makes
know what I'm
sense,
saying?
though.
Like
Yeah, they weren't like direct sequels.
right.
They just had the same characters.
Exactly.
It matched up. You know what I'd be very interested to see?
What?
And this would be a big stretch because modern military wouldn't allow for it. But I would appreciate actually seeing if there was a time jump and the third one was like actually Jurassic World. Like
Like the dinosaurs have been
dinosaurs
integrated.
overpopulated.
So Planet of the Apes basically with dinosaurs?
Yeah, but they're not riding horses.
No, I got that. Like they're
They're
not that
riding each other.
intelligent, but
Yeah. And it's like, man, this is what
like
it's
we've
come
gone
to.
back to prehistoric times.
Yeah.
That'd be legit.
That would be
I'd be
pretty
interested
cool.
because honestly, when I was thinking about it, I didn't think at all about Planet of the Apes because I think that's a little different with like the return. But like, this is what you would see with like Chris Pratt's and Bryce Dallas Howard's kid, and like that things slip. But there's no way to logically do that because we've got nuclear weapons. We just blow that island up. So there's no like that's not
No,
feasible.
there is a feasible way.
The dinosaurs have a disease.
No, the debates, like, you never get to launch the nuclear stuff because the debates between society holds it up so long, and then some incidents happen that you don't foresee, and
Dinosaurs don't have souls. Not genetically mutated ones, anyway. You know how quick presidents are to nuke things in movies that aren't humans?
Very.
Very quick.
All right,
Sir, we got to hit it.
you set me up for this segue, and I'm going to use it. Speaking
Okay.
of things that don't have
Doomsday.
souls, Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah, soul.
Hey, man.
He's a comeback. He's coming back.
you're right, he is. With things like this, Shia LaBeouf was talking about how difficult it was to work with Steven Spielberg on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I mean, that was like during his flip out, like right before his flip out, a couple years before. He was probably closeted insane at that point, so it was like that must have been hard.
Artist.
It's just according to him, everything had to be so maliciously planned. You have to get out this line in 37 seconds. You do that for 5 years, you start to feel like you're not knowing what you're doing for a living.
Yeah, I could see how if you feel. I mean, if that's the road you want to go down, I could see how it could be a little bit robotic. If he's like, you need to say this line so that you have enough time to swing on this rope so that the monkeys can be with you. What? Act. Okay, I could
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Also, did you see the other reports that he was in was offered a Suicide Squad?
Do you see which role, apparently?
Please tell me, Slipknot.
No.
No.
Damn it!
It's
Amanda
for
Waller.
Rick Flag's assistant, the one that Eastwood
Nope.
played. Yeah, it was.
Deadshot.
What?
In a related news, LaBeouf also revealed this week that he was almost in Suicide Squad until Will Smith supposedly wanted a bigger role.
I read that he was Rick Flag's like assistant, the role that Eastwood was playing.
This is not confirmed or revealed. This is all rumor and speculations. It was him saying that what David Ayers wanted him, and WB was like, "You ain't touching that."
Yeah.
Would you take Shia LaBeouf as Bullseye?
I don't want him in anything.
As Bullseye?
As Bullseye?
I don't want him in anything. There's nothing that I'm like, you know what would be better with this? Shia LaBeouf.
Apparently, he's quite good
Shia
in that
LaBeouf, Victor's
Tank
ass,
movie.
go.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean,
Fury.
the dude's got
He's a good actor.
talent. Like he's got talent. There's just a lot of baggage there. If a team's not willing to sign Tim Tebow, a movie studio shouldn't be willing to sign Shia LaBeouf unless you're a small scale indie movie. That
I want you to imagine this: Shia LaBeouf as Victor Zaz.
He has to shave his head.
Shia could, and I don't think that would be a problem for him.
No,
I
probably
mean,
not.
he had sex on camera for a role.
I saw that movie. I saw part 1 of that movie.
You saw the parts you needed to.
No, because part 2 is way more graphic, and I couldn't. Part 1 was graphic enough for me.
Damn, was it hot though?
The entire movie just kind of makes you feel awkward.
Nice.
It's like, you know what's less awkward? Just watching porn. Because,
Because you know the objective.
yeah.
What is this? Am I supposed to be turned on? Am I supposed to be inspired? Am I supposed to be scared? And the whole time, Vince
just
Van
felt
Troffa,
bad
whatever
for
his
the
name is,
girl.
like, yes.
I felt
All
bad
of
for
them.
the girl the entire time because it's the story of her life.
Oh, her like horrible, just like
Yeah.
it starts out so nice and then it's gonna fall.
And then it's like,
Real
I'm,
quick.
I'm choosing to do this. And it's like, but you shouldn't.
It's a hero's journey. Is that not a standard hero's journey?
Tough as nails.
Does Nymphomaniac not follow the standard?
That's a segment for another time.
The hero's journey?
No, if Nymphomaniac follows the hero's journey. That's a paper. That's
Again,
a college paper.
Again,
I
we
feel
don't
like.
have a second segment. Give me 5 minutes.
What's their next headline?
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has not reportedly, they've actually done it.
Revealed.
Revealed.
Ghost Rider.
There you go.
Jesus, Joe.
You've got me thrown off by these three different words that in my own head mean the same thing, because I've never heard of anything reported that didn't eventually become revealed.
Well, because it's never reported. It's reportedly.
All right, we're done on that.
Okay.
Anyway, the first pictures of Robbie Reyes in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as actual Ghost Rider are out, and they looked well, they are photoshopped, but they look extremely photoshopped to where if this is how it's going to look in the actual show, not that great.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with it.
The car looks good. I'll admit that. I think the car looks good in the
Car
background.
looks fine, but it should be a motorcycle, and he should be
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny. I was gonna say Nick Cage.
Well, that too.
But I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Is anything else from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and watching it throwing you off and you're like, that looks dumb, I'm not watching this show?
No.
Kudos to them for shooting for the stars.
It'll be fine. I don't think this is how the final product will look anyway.
No, it's not even moving, which is
Right.
the thing that hurts to get, like, whew, we talked about it, but honestly, Spirit of Vengeance had its problems, but the way that character moved, like, it kind of, like, swayed, and it was in the middle of combat, but also, like, not really registering everything that was going on, was just very impressive, because it was very, like, ethereal in Spirit of Vengeance.
So you liked it?
I loved it. I
Okay.
thought that was my favorite part of it, was the way that he looked and, like, how the clothes weren't just, like, on fire. Do you remember, like, Spirit of Vengeance?
I
The words
remember it.
weren't, like,
My
they
favorite
were
part
melting.
was Nick Cage screaming, "I'm going to let him out." But
Well, yeah, that. But the character, I was very impressed with how, like, that all... Whoops. Guys, it's time for Lando to take his medicine. Shut down. Got it. Don't worry about it. Fix it in post. But this one just looks a little too clean cut.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Maybe it'll be good. I'll
Actually,
watch it.
you know what? It doesn't look that different from the first one.
Yeah.
The first one didn't look that great.
Yeah.
Doesn't look, yeah.
I think they also one thing that knocks them is they went for a very comic book accurate take on him, especially with the leather jacket, because it is a shot for shot copy of the one that Robbie Reyes uses in the comics, and it's just kind of looks dumb. You know how, like, some costumes don't, like, Harley Quinn's outfit, her classic Mad Love outfit does not work on the big screen.
It's not even that. I just feel like the actor that they got for this was just he's too bulky. Like Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider is not like a bulky character. He's a thin character. You know, like he's just got a very lanky frame, and that this actor is not lanky.
Always keep in mind, we do now at this point have the luxury of complaining about a character because they're a little too thin or a little too big. So things aren't that bad, if that's the things we get to complain about.
Like Scoob! It's Three Wise Radio!
Okay, since we don't have a second segment, I had two headlines I couldn't get to, so I thought I'd group them together in what I'm calling casting news.
Okay.
One is superhero related, the other is just ridiculous, and I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Hit me up.
All right.
Yeah.
The first one that's superhero related, do you guys remember Billy Crudup?
Yeah.
Billy Crumb?
If it is Crumb, he doesn't have an M in his name or a B.
Billy Crub? What is
Crudup.
it?
Crudup. I said it right,
Crudup.
correct? Yeah.
How do you spell it?
CRUDUP.
Yep. Okay, he was Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Oh, sure. Okay. I mean, most of the time he was blue with a penis.
Most of the time, but he also was in his normal form.
At some point.
I think he was in Public Enemies. Oh, he played Hoover in Public Enemies.
He was in Almost Famous.
Yeah, he's in a lot of
He's been in a lot of
Spotlight.
Yeah, he was. So he is apparently he's in final negotiations to be in the upcoming Flash movie.
Oh, is he the one that's supposed to... Is that who was supposed to be Papa Flash?
Yes.
Papa Flash.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, sure, why not? That movie's going to be fun.
It will be. But this was before I heard who he was going to play, because there was talks about the WB and Warner Brothers talking with him until, like, even a couple days before they revealed who they wanted him to play. You know what I think he'd make an even better?
Green Goblin.
No. Well,
I think he'd make a good Green Goblin because he kind of looks like Defoe.
Captain Cold. I thought he'd be a really good Captain Cold.
Got to get some tablets. Is that in the budget?
That's not in the budget.
Damn it.
Great Green Goblin.
He needs to be a thinker because he's got a good, like, sinister kind of look that he can pull off.
Yeah.
I mean, he usually does kind of an uptight
Exactly.
guy,
And when I
but
actually when I think Captain Cold, I don't think normally Wentworth Miller. I think like uptight 50s like type guy, because that's what usually I'm used to when I've seen Captain Cold and stuff.
My first touch with Captain Cold was from the Justice comic, so he wasn't in it a lot, but that's where I kind of got him, which is extremely traditional costume. He's kind of not an older guy, but he's like middle-aged.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing it for a long time. Yeah, I mean, he could do it. He could do it.
But is Papa Flash too? What do you think on that?
Yeah, I think it works. Honestly, I think anything in that movie works. I think they're really just... How often do we talk about this? They're really just saying, like, yep, go with it. I think they're trusting that... What is this? The director from...
Dope.
I think they're really just saying, like, man, go for it. Might as well. Because who knows what's going to happen.
I mean, after seeing Dope, I
Dope's a great
fully
movie.
endorse this. This Dope was dope, okay?
Thank you.
But no, like,
Good one.
It was a great movie. Like, I would trust whatever that director's wanting to do. Like,
It's going to be kind of funky.
Do you keep the same story? Killed the mom, possibly framed,
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Is there?
'Cause that
that's
sets
not
up-
the only Barry Allen origin, though, right? I feel like that's not.
It's
the most.
It's the origin.
prevalent. I thought there's others. Never mind. I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head.
just because, you know, that having the mom die, or at least having a parent die,
Right.
sets up for Flashpoint.
Do you
'Cause
do?
he goes back in
but,
time to save
But I
the
don't think you do Flashpoint.
I don't
in
think
the
you do
movie.
Flashpoint in this, but
Not in this movie, but like we talked about, it'd be a good like future story.
Oh,
for the
especially
movie.
because you
Yeah,
could
everything.
reset the
Yeah.
universe. Agreed.
I think what it stages is the only thing that it has been confirmed about Barry Allen in this is that he buys milk, so he's not lactose intolerant, and that
What? Not my Barry Allen.
and that when Bruce offers him the gig, he picks it up quickly because he needs friends. So, I mean, the only stretch that I could come up with is if you put this dynamic of, like, his mom died when he was really young and his dad was in prison, probably had a rough upbringing, wasn't very good with dealing with other people. Like, that's a stretch, but that's all we know, so it could kind of fit that narrative.
And if you do cast him, you could even do the latest reboot that DC did, where it's really Dr. Manhattan just created all of this, and he was disguised as Flash's father.
So cool. It's the coolest.
Actually,
No.
I thought
If I had to give you the option of reading, I mean, it's not bad, but like, seriously. If I had to give you the option of reading DC, the new DC, or watching
Rebirth.
Spirit of Vengeance, we'd watch Spirit of Vengeance. And
so. If you gave me the choice, you would choose for me.
Correct. It's called steering you in the right direction.
All right,
Predestiny.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, so in our other casting news, have you guys heard about the new like Tupac, Biggie Smalls like dual biopic that's
They're back.
coming out?
No.
So there's a movie that's going to be done by Brad Furman, who's I think claimed to fame as the Lincoln Lawyer with Matthew McConaughey,
Okay.
and it's going to be about the East Coast West Coast rap feud that supposedly and allegedly, because it was never proven, was the resulting deaths of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur.
Does it ever delve into the rumor that if you say Biggie Smalls in a mirror 3 times,
No, Matt Stone and Trey Parker are not part
they're
of
not
this.
attached? Okay,
They're
just
not
checking to
attached.
make sure.
Now, that sounds like a great movie, right, Garrett?
Sure.
I mean, you said. I mean, it sounds like it could be an okay movie. I mean,
It'd be interesting, and I feel like you're going to get a lot of reports after that movie from a lot of people who are like, that's an inaccurate portrayal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul Giamatti.
ooh, nope. But they feel like they need a name. They need a big name to draw in the crowd.
Jamie Foxx.
Nope.
Kanye West.
Denzel Washington.
You guys are going with the
Marlon Wayans.
wrong race.
Baby Marlon Wayans. A white guy playing Tupac?
No.
A white guy playing
Not even
Biggie.
playing Tupac or Biggie.
Tom Hanks. Mel Gibson. Unlikely.
Johnny Depp is set to play the detective investigating the murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls.
No.
I mean, okay. I don't know what that guy looks like, and I don't know anything about that dude, so I don't care.
You don't know what Johnny Depp looks like?
No, I know what Johnny Depp looks like, but if you put it in a room and he's like, yeah, I'm playing the investigator in the murders of these 2 men, I'd be like, okay,
I know that's
No, you're supposed to be a blonde.
not where I was going with it. I was going with why does Johnny Depp have to be in this film?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Not whether or not he looks like a guy that no one knows
okay.
if he was a true person or not.
It's Johnny Depp trying to stay relevant after all the bullshit with his personal life.
Still haven't heard if she's still going to be Mara.
I think she is. I keep seeing artwork of fans from her. So
Well, sure, but
no
they
one's
just haven't said anything.
right.
But I mean, I don't know. If this movie's gonna be about, fuck this.
You guys, we're not pulp.
Yeah.
This is super old, but we're not pulp. We're popular culture, but we're not like National Enquirer. But did you see how
this is going to be in the years we're going to cover here in a few minutes? This happened in between 1990 and 1994.
Did you see how that entire dispute went down between him and Amber Heard?
Oh, not that.
No, not
there
that.
was
But did
one
you see
in
how
particular.
did you see how the financials broke down?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about like the video that got leaked
No.
by TMZ.
So no. So the only part that boils down is very funny because Amber Heard got a good amount of money from, I can't remember what it is. Let's say it's $10 million.
Didn't she donate a bunch of it?
So no, she got the money, said she was donating it to charity. So before Johnny Depp even gave it to her, his people were like, "Fine, we're donating it to charity for you," and donated it directly to the charity. And then Amber Heard's people was like, "Hey, you can't do that. Now Johnny Depp gets a big tax write-off and I don't."
I did not hear about any of that.
Two shitty people. Oh, that's just what you know when a celebrity donates to charity. Isn't that awesome? Garrett's really personal about all this stuff.
Man,
Are you pro Amber or pro Johnny? Or are you pro their dogs that they almost got killed in Australia?
What? Go Aquaman.
So Mara.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. What was the point of this? Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Is there any other casting?
No. There's no other casting. They have a director attached, and you know it's going to be based on the book Labyrinth. I'm sorry, Labyrinth is the name of the film, and it's based off a book by Randall Sullivan about the actual investigation into the murders.
I think they just need to make sure that they keep pressing that it's about the actual investigation. So people are like, you're doing a movie about Biggie and Tupac, and Johnny Depp is your get.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole thing that he was trying to hit with this.
That is my point.
Yeah.
So we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
This is all stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on. Mara for Aquawoman.
Make it happen.
All right, well, we'll try and do a seamless transition here to a certain extent.
You
but
can't say we're doing a transition and have a seamless transition. Those are the seams, Joe.
that event did happen between 1990 and 1994, and our main topic for the week will be
Early 90s.
great movies.
Because we said we might do this sometime and then got excited about it.
Yes.
And are now doing it.
Yes.
Kick ass.
Yeah.
What's up? You have selected. You're on my fax.
So 2 weeks ago, if you were listening to that episode of the podcast, we got on a short little rambling about movies that were released in 1999. And we thought, wow, 1999 was a good year.
They're all good years.
That's the thing.
Too
Sam
good.
then was probably like, if you go down the list, you could find a lot of good films from different years. So this week, we're debuting our first installment in a larger segment that we'll do
leave it open-ended.
over the course of time.
This could be a 10-film series.
10 film series.
For a while, where we'll do 5 years at a time, starting at 1990. Because, well,
Screw the 80s.
I mean, we really weren't alive.
We weren't alive during the 80s.
I mean-
I was alive in
Shut the
1989.
fuck up.
So I'm an 80s kid.
I was alive in 87, so in theory, I actually
You're an
like,
80s.
can
You're not
remember
an- you're
stuff
not an
from
80s
these.
kid.
I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying I
You
can
remember stuff from when you were 3 years old?
I can remember stuff from Batman being released when I was 2, yes.
I remember stuff from when I was 2.
Like what?
Like, For my second...
I can remember watching the Adam West TV show on Nick at Night because they were really prompting and promoting the Batman movie.
Did you know that every memory you think of is actually just you thinking of that last time you thought of it? Isn't that deep?
What?
That's a Facebook post sometimes. I think it might be scientifically accurate, though. So, like, that's why memories fade over time, is because when you are thinking back on an event, you're actually not thinking about the event. You're thinking about the last time you thought about it. So it's like degradation.
No, I'm thinking about this event where on my second birthday I had a Batman cake.
So did I!
High five!
I wasn't into Batman when I was a
Fuck you.
kid.
But there's pictures. I don't remember the cake. And I still have the figurines somewhere.
I also have my figurines. I gave them all to my little brothers, but...
I don't have any cheap figurines.
Dang.
I wasn't a kid. No
Anyway.
figurines. I was a kid. I didn't have
So
those
we're
things.
starting with 1990. I can remember one thing from 1990, two things from 1990 that are on at least this list of movies I have in front of me, and I can actually remember these movies coming out. But, Sam, you have a much bigger list of movies from each year.
Yeah. I just took a list of movies that, again, I was one. So these movies are not hugely impactful for me. I wasn't watching Home Alone at age 1. I was like,
At age 1, no.
I really reflect with this character.
No, okay, I wasn't reflecting, but like I said, there are two things on this list I can remember.
What can you remember?
Okay, Back to the Future Part 3 came out that year, and I can remember getting the VHS from my aunt, which I still have as
big money.
as a Christmas present. I can remember getting that, and
Okay.
I know I watched that thing all the time.
Okay,
I can also remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out that year.
That's on my list.
I can remember that coming out. I don't think I saw it in theaters, so I probably saw it the following year. Probably that memory's from like 91, because I remember like renting it and like really wanting to rent it because I was obsessed with Turtles at the time. And I can remember
Teenage Mutant Ninja
that
Turtles or
coming
all
out.
Turtles?
I mean, all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle related
Okay,
things.
but it wasn't like you saw a box turtle and you're like, this is it.
I probably did, but we're like, those are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I can just go off the cuff and say I don't remember at the time any of these movies.
I would say
these are all movies that I appreciate in my older age. I remember nothing.
I was not alive
There you go.
during this year, so...
No, I'm talking about 90 through 94.
I watched a good portion of these movies, but it wasn't until I was like, probably like 6 or 7.
All right,
It-
so we'll
it
just
was
start
not the
right-
year of
we'll
the
start
I mean,
rifling
it's
through
fair. I
them.
mean, let's get down to the discrepancy. So I'm 3 through 7 on this list. I will probably remember more of this than you guys will.
Sure.
Especially when we get to the end. I can guarantee there's stuff from 93 and 94 I remember. I can guarantee it. At 6 and 7, you know what you're remembering.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so I described the movies that were most impactful to me and that I appreciate the most, as well as some that were just huge movies of the time, even if
Okay.
they weren't a big deal. First off, does everyone know which year so far they think is the biggest, the best out of these 5?
No.
Mine's cut between 2. I won't say them now, but when we
But
get to the debate afterwards.
I'm
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right. So starting with 1990, I had Goodfellas.
Yep.
Fantastic movie. Home Alone, as we already talked about.
Yep.
Great kid movie. At a young age, awesome to watch. If you were
yeah.
if you were like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 at that age, it would be awesome. I also had, in terms of horror, Misery. If anybody's familiar with
I
Misery.
am. I did not know that was a
Kathy
1990
Bates,
movie.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, great movie. Who's the guy with her?
James Caan.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then there you go. One of my top 10 movies of all time, Tremors with Kevin Bacon.
Oh.
Is that a 90s movie?
Yes,
Yep,
sir.
1990.
I just
1990.
assume anything with Kevin Bacon's from the 80s.
Hey, this was tail end.
Okay.
Tail end. TMNT, like you
Right.
said, Teenage Mutant Ninja
Which
Turtles.
actually, with the time of its release in that, it makes $200 million worldwide, becomes the highest grossing.
That's big money.
Becomes the highest grossing independent movie of all time at that moment.
Wow, that's big money at the time.
So much so that they rushed the second one into production right away, and they had to replace Donatello and the lady that played April.
Because they all died. Were you familiar? They didn't really die, but are you familiar with like the filming? It was agony.
Yes.
Those suits were apparently like 80 pounds.
Oh,
just
that's
like
the thing. They
drenched in
didn't.
sweat.
They didn't replace the people who were in the suits.
That's unfortunate.
Corey Feldman, who was still, I think, a name at that point, was the voice of Donatello. Didn't come back for the sequel, and whoever played April didn't come back for the sequel as well.
Tragic.
Like, right
that's
away.
why. That's why TMNT 2 wasn't on my list, which
Well,
we'll get
yes.
to later. And then the movies. Those are the ones that were big that I still appreciate today. Movies that weren't so big to me, but to the world. Edward Scissorhands. People love Edward Scissorhands.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. Dances with Wolves.
Never seen that
Which
one.
you'll actually see.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
And-
Who's the star of that?
Costner, he also directed.
Costner, that's right. And then Total Recall.
Yeah.
Which is a good movie, but I
Okay.
wouldn't say it's not on the top of my list.
No.
It's awesome.
It's fun.
It's awesome, but it's not on the top of my list.
No,
I would be
it's fun.
lying if I said that it was my favorite movie. So it's a pretty strong year to start out the decade.
You want some other stuff from the top 10 that you didn't mention?
You have top 10
I have top
budgets,
10 in
or
front of
top
me.
10
Worldwide grosses.
Worldwide grossing.
So, 10, Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
damn.
Arnold
That's
Schwarzenegger.
better than Total Recall.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at 9.
Yep.
Presumed Innocent, which I have no clue what that is.
It's
Crime drama.
it's Mel Gibson, I think.
Oh,
Nice.
all right.
Or no, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, there you go.
Yeah, he was moving and grooving in the 90s.
Die Hard 2
Oh,
at
yeah.
number
The
7.
worst of the diehards, though.
No, 5. 5 is by far the worst.
Okay, I'm talking 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
As Die Hard's the original trilogy.
Okay, then yes. Back to the Future Part 3. Total Recall. Dances with Wolves. Pretty Woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Home Alone. And number 1, Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, because of the pottery scene. With the
$505
thrusting.
million worldwide, which is a lot of money in 1990.
Yeah. So it's a pretty strong year.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it's lower on my list. Not a single.
Oh, yeah, I would agree.
Not a single. At least there was a big deal. Animated movie, which as we get further down this list, you'll see animated movies have a pretty strong footing.
Agreed.
So 90, not in my vote for top movies.
Agreed.
For
I
top
mean,
movies.
as we just talked about earlier, Back to the Future Part 3, huge influence on my life, but other than that,
Yeah.
not really.
Can anybody guess what the top-selling toy at that time was?
No.
This one's a
No-
cheat
no
because
clue.
it didn't come out in 1990, but had been such a big deal for 2 years that it was still one of the top-grossing toys at the time.
No, now I'm curious if I had it.
Furby.
Didn't.
Really?
Furby.
I didn't. I never had a Furby, but I remember them being advertised.
I remember
Later.
them being a big
Furby
deal
for-
for years.
Yeah, later
For
one.
For all of,
years.
5 minutes.
Freaked you out?
That thing did not shut up. I had a Furby for 5 minutes. Did not shut up, so I threw it out the window.
You threw it out the window?
Yeah.
All right. And then for the other one for the ladies more was the Barbie Color Change Makeup Center. You know when they had like that?
Yeah.
I remember it. It was like a
I
life-size
remember
Barbie,
this
but
one.
it was like a bust of it, and you could like do its hair and all yada yada yada. But that was a pretty big deal at the time. But yeah, those are the toys that came out in 1990. Yeah, they're fun.
All right, let's move on to 91. then.
1991, big deal. First, heavy hitter, one of my favorites, Beauty and the Beast.
It is, and becomes the first animated film ever to be nominated
For Best Picture. Did not win though.
No.
Silence of the Lambs, one of the best horror movies of all
I
time.
remember.
Thrillers, I guess you wouldn't.
good.
So
necessarily
once again,
classify-
because video releases were later back
Right.
then, like it would take a year almost to, be,
yeah, like 9 months.
to be released on video. So this might be a 1992 memory, but I remember my father watching Silence of the Lambs in our living room and being like, "Get the hell out! Get the hell out!" Like, because I would walk in and be like, "Nope, leave."
That's good that you were at that point at age age 5?
4.
4? And he was telling you,
Oh no, 5 because it would have been probably 92.
find
5.
something else to do. Get out of here. Great movie. Arguably one of the best action movies of all time. T2.
Yes.
Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. Definitely high up on the list. And that's a Cameron, you are such a dick, but you know how to make a sequel.
He does. Terminator 2 might be his best picture of all time.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I have? Personal favorite, Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally my favorite for Robin Williams because I'm not a big Miss Doubtfire fan. What's the other one with the kids? Oh, Captain, My Captain.
Dead Poets Society.
Dead Poets Society. It was good movie, but Hook is amazing.
Hook's great.
So, and then the other ones that I had, Rocketeer.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of a pre-superhero movie.
Once again, that may be a 92, 93 memory, but I vividly remember the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
But of course, it was at my house. Like I said, that might be a little bit later. But I thought that was one of the coolest things
Yeah.
ever.
And then I had Thelma and Louise and Point Break.
Oh,
Yeah. Point Break.
there you go. Going down the list of top 10 that year, City Slickers, which I remember when this movie came out. I thought the bull scene at the opening credits was like the funniest thing ever, where they're running from the bulls. Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen came out in 1991 as
That's
well.
not the baseball one, right?
No, that's the one where
That's,
that's the
that's
spoof
Major
of Top
League.
Gun.
Major League, right?
Major League's an 80s movie, though.
Well, right. No, I'm just trying.
Right.
I'm trying.
Hot
to
Shots is the
pinpoint where
spoof
that
of
is.
Top Gun.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. I prefer Major League.
Right.
But
But
each
that
their own.
that was the 9th. Cape Fear with Robert De Niro at number
Yeah.
8. The Addams Family.
Yeah.
Raul Julia, number 7.
They pumped that second one on fast because wasn't Family Values like right after that?
Basically, yeah. JFK, the Oliver Stone movie with Kevin Costner with the magic bullet at number 6. Silence of the Lambs, number 5. Hook, number 4. Beauty and the Beast at 3.
Such a good movie.
Kevin Costner. There's a reason the man was a big
Kevin
name
Costner,
for a while.
Robin Hood?
Yep,
Yeah.
Prince of Thieves at number 2, which grossed $390 million. So here's the difference between that and T2, which came in at number 1. 519.
Damn.
Over 100 million more. Almost 130 million more than the next one.
It's a SmackDown.
Wow.
Gary, what was your favorite from 91?
At the time, it would have been like Terminator 2 or Point Break. Growing up now, it'd be Hook or Addams Family.
Okay.
I really enjoy Addams Family.
No, I just love how you're like, as I grew up, lighter. Really like violence heavy early on. Lighter and more comical as I'm growing up.
Can anyone guess what the highest rank? So again, this on my list, good year. Personally, it doesn't get my vote.
Agreed.
No, actually, I'd say 90s better.
Okay. Can anyone guess what the number one selling toy? Again,
Dude.
not number one selling.
Like I said, I don't have vivid memories,
It's
but
not
like,
necessarily a toy.
Sega Genesis?
SNES, Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't even bother looking for anything else because it was like, yep, this was it.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
So yeah, not a bad year.
Okay.
92, another animated, Aladdin,
Yeah.
which I at the time think I liked more than Beauty and the Beast because it was an action adventure.
And I'll say this was Robin Williams' best role. It's voice, but when I think Robin Williams, I think of the genie immediately.
Yeah. How long till Aladdin they try and do a live action?
I mean, they've already got a stage Broadway version of it.
Yeah.
So how long
not
till it
that
gets a
long.
live action movie?
I don't know.
Good luck.
But I mean,
good luck filling
honestly,
here's how
that's-
important Robin Williams was to Aladdin. They, like any Disney movie, did direct to DVD sequels after it.
Yeah.
He didn't come back for Return of Jafar, which was a great movie.
But he came back for
the
King of
third one.
Thieves.
Yeah, he did.
King
He
of
came
Thieves.
back for a direct to DVD release for Disney because they're like,
didn't know
well,
that.
everyone knows of you as this character. Why don't you do? He's like, all right, fine.
And he had
Was
John.
the genie in Return of Jafar?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Who
but
voiced him? Some
couldn't-
schmuck?
Yeah, couldn't even tell you.
I think it's the same guy that voices him for like the Kingdom Hearts games and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, go to 92. 92 might get a vote for best year.
It's got some great movies.
I'm going. You know
for me,
what?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns is great.
Great
yes.
movie. One of my.
And I
go
can
ahead.
tell you this. You want to talk about childhood memories? I vividly remember. I don't remember what movie I was seeing, but I can tell you I'm in the movie theater, like Plaza or like the foyer or whatever, and there's a photo of Batman, and it says Batman Returns June whatever, and I was like,
And you said I didn't even know he was gone.
pretty much, but I was like. Yes, like I was so I didn't even see. I don't know if I'd even seen the first one yet because my parents were like, like let's keep him on Adam West for a while and the animated
It's a
series.
little rough,
Yeah.
murdering people and whatnot.
But I was like, yeah, like I was so excited for this movie that I'm sure I didn't see it for like a couple more years.
But still, you remember that sensation.
I remember like seeing the poster and just being so excited.
There you go. One of my favorites, which honestly I think this is Tom Cruise's best movie for me, Few Good Men. Great movie.
That's pretty good.
Candyman. Awesome horror. Let's see what else. One of the best. I was gonna say hockey, but just sports. Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Started that off. And then the other ones that I had, Reservoir Dogs and The Last of the Mohicans. Reservoir Dogs is a hit movie to enjoy. Last of the Mohicans, Daniel Day-Lewis playing a Native American. Sure.
Actually, might be the
People will be upset about
Daniel
it now.
Day-Lewis movie I enjoy.
Yeah. So that's what I have for 92.
Than Gangs of New York. Okay, you actually left off for once a lot. Like you've been hitting the top 10, but this one you left off a lot. Number 10, Wayne's World.
Yeah, dude.
See, Wayne's World does nothing for me.
No, I understand. I'm just saying.
No, do you guys like Wayne's World?
No.
No.
I don't give a
I'm
shit
not, like,
about
super
Wayne's
into
But I
World.
mean, that would have been an SNL skit
Sure,
that like
sure,
eventually
sure.
turned into a movie. 9, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Keanu Reeves, and Gary
Again,
Oldman.
that movie, I get it.
I like it because it still to this day, after seeing it so many times, is an enigma to me. I'm like, what is going on here?
It's so funky.
Number 8. Oh, I'm sorry.
Even reading that book, I thought that.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have no clue what's going on because it's like written in like diary format and it's just like, is he just imagining this shit? Is this
Right.
actually going on? Like, what's going on right now?
But usually that's compelling. Oh, I guess it was compelling for others.
Number 8, Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act.
Yeah.
Didn't do it for me.
Few Good Men at number 7. Batman Returns at number 6.
Woo!
Lethal Weapon 3 at number 5.
See, after Lethal Weapon 1, I'm out.
See, 2's not bad.
I've honestly never seen him.
I love 4. 4 is great with Chris Tucker and it's not Jackie Chan. He's the one, Jet Li, with Chris Tucker and Jet Li.
Are they playing like the replacements or?
No. Jet Li's the villain. It's his first American film,
Awesome.
and Jet Li is the villain, and Chris Tucker's like the up and coming detective with them.
Nice.
Interesting.
Great one actually. Basic Instinct at number 4, the famous leg spreading scene.
Yep. Heard she was very upset when they used that
I
cut.
vividly remember begging my father, and I think I've talked about this in the podcast
Dad
before.
was so cruel to you.
No, he wasn't. But I vividly remember, because they went out and bought this for me, like on Christmas. I think I've told this story on the podcast before.
Probably.
Home Alone 2,
Lost in New
York at number 3. I remember wanting that talk boy so bad that he has the recorder. Mm-hmm. That my parents, the only time they've ever braved like lines during Christmas for me.
I don't remember Home Alone 2. All I think of when I think of Home Alone 2 is John Mulaney's bit about it. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That's a ridiculous name. It's a grid system. It goes into more detail, but
See,
it's a
but
great
you want
bit.
to talk about
So
memories
true,
again?
though.
Like, I vividly remember Home Alone 2 coming out, like the movie.
Big pizza.
The,
He's got a big old pizza.
the like I said, his toy. I remember, once again, coming in at number 2 this year, the reason Kevin Costner's such a big
Dude,
freaking
rock
deal.
star.
The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston.
Don't even know what that
411
is.
million.
Never even heard of that.
Yes, you have. I will
I've
remember
never
you.
heard
You guys have never heard of The Bodyguard?
Remember you.
No,
That
no,
song?
not that song.
Then I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
No, I have no idea. I got no clue.
Look it up. This was actually a big deal.
Is Whitney Houston bodyguarding Kevin Costner?
I kind of reversed.
I
but
was
yes.
8 months old at this
I'm
point.
not saying you would remember it in the moment. I'm just saying I'm shocked you guys have not heard of it.
Scoff.
And then, of course, Aladdin, like we talked about, number 1. Over 500 million for that one as well, worldwide.
Still doesn't get my vote.
That's a lot of good movies when you run down that.
No, it's a strong showing, but these up and comings are huge.
Yeah, the
All right, fine.
I know for a fact.
Okay, what's the toy this year?
Top
in
toy.
92.
Top toy. We've got one of my personal favorites. But before that, Barbie Dreamhouse came out. Which I mean, even as a dude, like that's cool. You get a big, huge house.
I think I remember commercials for that.
Yeah, I mean, it had like 3 stories and stuff, and that's cool. Creepy crawlers.
I never had them.
Are you guys familiar?
Familiar, but never had them.
Dude, it's an easy bake oven, but for guys.
Yeah, no, I
And you don't
remember the
eat it, you
commercials.
just flick it at
I
things.
totally remember. It had like the mad scientist.
Creepy crawlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome and super dangerous.
Oh, there's a lot of like super dangerous toys.
Yes.
But is it just because we were children, or were children toy commercials a lot cooler back then?
They were more well, there were children's toy commercials. There aren't children's toy commercials now. Now it's
There
just
are.
in-
You
well, now,
have to watch Cartoon Network. I will sadly admit I watch way too much
But
Teen
if
Titans
they
Go
feel more like
to-
infomercials, whereas these feel like
Yes and no. Yes and no. They feel more like the Nerf commercials, if you remember those.
I do remember those.
Where they're like, these are so cool, you have to have it. To where like...
But also the kids in those are like 12, 13, 14. We were looking at like 8 and 9-year-olds playing with this stuff. And
Go back and watch some of those commercials. They're like 12 and 13.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Go back and watch it.
I refuse.
The only reason I say that is because we were at Emporium about a month ago, and they were playing the entire Saturday morning lineup for Fox, and they were showing even the commercials. So like I got to see some old toy commercials for that.
Okay. All right.
Garrett remembers I was way too excited about the X-Men episode being on.
We ready?
Right.
1993. Just on every spectrum. I'll start with my least favorite of what I've chosen. Dazed and Confused.
I like that movie.
No, great movie. It's on the list, but it's at the bottom of my list.
That's fair.
Great movie. Homeward Bound, which we've talked about.
I don't like that movie.
Joe doesn't like it because he doesn't have a soul. Garrett, Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound.
Emotional
Tears.
journey, right?
Tears.
We'll move up the list. Tombstone.
Good movie.
Incredible performances.
Didn't see that for like another 15 years.
Yeah,
but-
me neither, but it doesn't change what it is. Sandlot.
Yeah, I don't like that one either.
Incredible movie. See, you're just buzzed.
No,
you're
see,
off
like,
on
this is why I'm
93.
choosing another year.
Nightmare Before Christmas, best animated movie of all time.
It's okay.
Stop action.
It's a good
whatever.
movie. It's a good
See,
movie,
You're such a
but-
buzzkill on 93. Last one.
Sorry,
for me.
I have other tastes.
Let's see. I also had my Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, that is 93. That's a good movie.
And then the big one, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
Congratulations, you chose one movie. The number one movie, but you chose one movie on the top 10 list.
I
that
also
year.
added movies that people are into that I'm not.
Okay.
Miss Doubtfire.
All right.
Hocus Pocus, because I don't
Yeah.
know why. The movie looks gross to me. I don't like it. All those women
They're
are
witches.
weird.
They're supposed to be gross. They're not supposed,
supposed to be
beautiful.
sexy.
No, they're not.
Sexy witches.
There's never supposed to be a sexy witch.
Have you seen The Covenant? They're sexy witches. They're all men, but still.
The Craft would have been a better argument, which is around
You
this
seen
time
The
too.
Covenant? They're still all just attractive men. Whatever.
Go on.
And then Philadelphia.
Okay, you added a couple. You added.
But that's my list for 93, which is a strong, diverse list.
It is.
Yeah.
Number 10 that year, The Pelican Brief.
Great.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a
Kevin Costner guarding
no,
someone else.
It's not Kevin Costner.
Damn it.
It's like an espionage, corporate espionage thriller.
Okay.
Philadelphia at 9.
Yeah.
Sleepless in Seattle, Tom Hanks and
Okay.
Meg Ryan at number 8.
You could name 8 movies with them in it, but that's
True. Cliffhanger at number 7.
Ooh.
I remember Cliffhanger coming out
Stallone.
because he drops the lady in the beginning of the film. It's like, no! Like, oh, it's great. It's a great movie. Indecent Proposal at number 6.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Firm at number 5. It's Tom Cruise. It's a Josh Grisham novel. I've tried to watch this movie so many times.
Sounds like it wasn't that good to you.
It's long. It's like 2.5 hours long. And Grisham, like, writes some long stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Shocked you didn't mention this one. Schindler's List at number 4.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to add that in.
I mean, even if you don't like it, that's...
No, it's great. Best picture.
Yeah.
I should have put it on there. My
That's
bad.
a lot. I'm shocked you left this one off the list as well. The Fugitive at number 3.
Just because I appreciate things in pop culture about The Fugitive doesn't mean I have to appreciate The Fugitive.
Why would you appreciate things in pop culture about The Fugitive but not appreciate The Fugitive itself?
Because they're funny, outside of just knowing
The
all
Fugitive
about
is a good movie based on a 1960s
Well, then should you also
TV
include
show.
Patriot Games?
Is that 1990? That's the 80s.
No, it's not.
No, wait. Patriot Game. Oh, I'm
It's
thinking
the year before, I think.
I'm thinking War Games. Sorry.
no,
I'm thinking
not War
Games.
Games.
You're right. You're talking about the Jack Ryan one.
Yes. Is Patriot Games, is he's not? Wait.
I'm only doing the top 10. I'm not doing my list.
Hey.
I'm doing the top 10.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Fugitive is a good movie. Anyway, then you name the top 2. Mrs. Doubtfire and Jurassic Park. To give you an idea how big Jurassic Park was, we've been talking about 500 million for
1,000 million.
yes, which would be
A billion?
yes, a billion 38,
That's what I'm
38 million.
Yes, that's what I'm shooting for.
Just say a billion.
I can't.
All right.
What's the?
How much is it? How much did it make?
I just said a billion 38 million.
Yeah.
1.38 or 1.3, I guess, is really the.
Garrett, what are your thoughts on this? Is this year get your vote?
No.
Do you have
this year does not get my vote.
Okay.
I do
Okay.
know what's coming up, so.
The top for this year, huge for the 90s. Think of one thing for the 90s that was like, you want to make money? Buy these. Don't open them. Keep them in good condition.
Beanie Babies.
There it is. TY
Really?
Beanie Babies, man. The Beanie Babies were
They were,
remembered
but
huge.
I do remember, but I would have thought that was like a 97. Like, I would have thought that was a later.
But again, this is when they started. Like, this is when it
Okay.
started booming. But then, dude, Beanie Babies were along for a long time because it wasn't until like year 2 or 3. Like, remember when I think we still have them in storage somewhere. Remember when like Busch Stadium had a Beanie Baby? Mm-hmm. Like they had a Cardinal that came out for them. They just pumped those out everywhere.
Yeah.
That swept the nation.
Side note, I only want to mention this because we've talked about Jason Momoa on the cast before.
Okay.
His current wife, Lisa Bonet, in 1993 divorced Lenny Kravitz. Just random fact.
You're clearly just Googling over there.
I am.
God damn it.
No, I think we still have Beanie Babies
We
at home.
didn't mention the best 1993 movie ever.
That's your fault.
What is it?
Super Mario Brothers.
No.
No, moving on. Anyway.
Movie's
Garrett,
trash.
what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that we still have all of my Beanie Babies. We never, like, we opened them, but
I'll give you a hint. You can probably tape them to a holographic Pokemon card and make no money off of them
Yep.
because they are not worth a lot anymore.
All right, what's 94?
94.
Go ahead. Yeah, 94. 94's list is huge. Pulp Fiction. I'll just start listing them off. Pulp Fiction, The Lion King. Right. Lion King. I think that trumps the list. Shawshank Redemption. Forrest Gump. Dumb and Dumber. The Mask and Ace Ventura.
All in 1 year.
Clerks. For you, Joe.
Thank you.
Dances with Wolves. Silence of the Lambs. Unforgiven. Which won Best Picture? Cowboy movie with Best Picture.
Wait.
Oh, no. Hold on.
No, Unforgiven was way ahead. Like, we
I was
missed
about to say.
Unforgiven.
My list is messed up. Hold on.
It's like
Hold on.
Unforgiven won in like 92.
It's a long email. Clerks. Okay, there we go. Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little Giants.
Yeah.
And D2, Mighty Ducks 2.
Yeah.
Which one was Mighty Ducks 2? Is that the
That's-
one with
That was the one with the Olympics.
Yeah, basically.
Iceland.
Basically, it's like
the
the
one
World
before
Games.
they went to the private school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Team Iceland.
Okay, there we go. All right, now my list is back set. And then Little Rascals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
So that's pretty strong. Did I say Little Giants?
Yeah.
You did.
Best.
I don't like that one.
What?
I don't like Little Giants.
It's top 3 for
Rick
sports
Moranis makes me feel awkward as a human
Maybe
being.
you guys just need to have a sit down.
Possibly.
That's a strong lineup.
A lot of those films just don't do it for me, though.
What does do it for you, Joe? Lion King?
Lion King did do it.
Forrest Gump doesn't do it to me, but I
I
but
mean,
I can
Lion
still
King,
respect
Lion King did.
Forrest
I mean,
Gump.
I went to go see Lion King with my dad in theaters. And I remember doing that. I mean, I would have been 7 at this time. So like, yeah. I mean, I remember a lot of this stuff.
I loved The Mask. Not a big fan of Ace Ventura, but I still respect it.
Ace Ventura is good. The second one's better. I remember The Mask coming out, and I remember watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast on Cartoon Network late at night, interviewing Jim Carrey for that film coming out.
I think we're missing the greatest movie of this year.
What?
Speed.
Yes.
Just saying.
Well, I was saving
Just
it
saying.
because it's definitely going to be the number 1 grossing.
Nope, it's not. That was Lion King
I'm thrown
by far.
incredible. So thrown off by that. That's the list. That's what did it for me.
Top 10 that year, Clear and Present Danger. So not Patriot Games, but Clear and Present Danger comes out. Interview with the Vampire, number 9.
Yeah.
I just don't like that movie.
I didn't
Tom
either.
Cruise and then like a little girl and
I
Kirsten
like
Dunst.
vampires.
Kirsten Dunst, yeah.
I'm a huge vampire fan. Anne Rice's stuff I do not like it.
No.
4 Weddings and a Funeral at number 8. Dumb and Dumber at number 7.
I said that.
Jim Carrey is huge that year.
Yeah, Busy Bee.
Yeah. The Flintstones at number 6 with John Goodman as Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
And Rick Moranis
yeah.
as Barney.
Didn't they make a second one?
They did.
Flintstones Go to Vegas or something?
Something like that, but no one returned from the original.
Damn.
Speed at number 5.
Yes.
The Mask at number 4. The only one you didn't mention on this list that might actually be Cameron's best film, other than T2. True Lies at number 3.
Cameron did Aliens, which is really good.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis. Pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump at 2, and then Lion King almost grosses $1 billion, which gets up to $951 million worldwide.
You know what's great about this list? Like all of them, though? There's 0 to few sequels and what's the word I'm looking for?
Remakes?
Not remakes, because obviously time has passed, but it's like for grossing and for like best movies, it's like, oh, it's got to be the second part in a 3-part.
I mean,
it's
but
got to
there-
be part of it's got to be part of Marvel. It's got to be something known already.
Right, but there are sequels. There's Naked Gun 33 and a half. There's Major League 2.
Sure,
there's
but the number
D2,
4
there's
highest grossing
Beverly
movie
Hills
of all
Cop
time of
3.
94 was what, The Mask?
Yeah.
Like that's
City
not going to
Slickers
happen.
2. I mean, there's still a lot of... Oh, Little Big League came out this year. That's a good movie.
No, sure, there's a lot of them, but I'm not saying like the top 10 list isn't going to look like that
isn't going to look
anymore,
like sequels. You're right.
which is just that's refreshing.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoyed that year. I thought it was a very strong, very well-rounded year. Had a lot of different avenues.
Agreed. I was going to give my vote to 94.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because Street Fighter came out in 94, isn't it?
You caught me.
Of course. The number 1 toy for that that I had was the G.I. Joe Foot Locker. If anybody remembers that,
Oh,
which I do.
sorry. I got it.
No, you're good. We can move on. It's not that
No,
good of
we
a
don't have to
toy.
move on. I completely blanked. So you don't like it, but the Santa Claus came out that year, which is prevalent in a lot of kids'
Tim
lives.
Allen.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's Santa Claus with an E because there's a clause in the being Santa.
Yeah.
Get it? It's clever writing.
Sorry. Continue.
Why does he become Santa Claus?
Because he kills Santa.
Shouldn't he go to jail?
It was kind of like
Doesn't that have like a negative idea that there could eventually become something where like you try and kill Santa Claus so that you can become Santa?
I don't think
So
they've ever.
that sounds like
So
a
it's
great
more like
That
there's
sounds
like
we
a
figured out
contract
the
on
fourth
his
installment.
head.
We figured out the fourth installment and how to resurrect this franchise.
Santa Claus for a Red Christmas.
Krampus.
Yeah.
Let's make this movie a thing. I like that.
We
Of
should.
a budget of $50.
We've had worse ideas on
Let's
this
do it.
show.
Yes, we have, and few better. I think, man, it's hard to pick. It's fun times, right? Fun, lighthearted movies for the most part. Except Interview with a Vampire, but who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
Garrett, your vote?
This year has my vote.
94.
Yeah.
Joe?
92's got mine.
Perfect. I'm voting 93.
God damn it.
So we've discovered nothing. But we took some strolls down memory lane.
Yeah.
Can anyone be swayed? I could be swayed to 94, but my heart is at 93. It's got what I say is the best movie of all time. No debate, Jurassic Park. My favorite animated movie and my favorite sports movie. And my favorite, oh, you've never heard of Tombstone? You should watch this immediately kind of movie, which is Tombstone. So I just can't, I don't think I could be ripped from that very easily.
I couldn't be ripped because there's a lot of movies that came out in 92 that, like, while I probably don't remember most of these coming out, I remember watching them on VHS with my parents, and they're movies I come back to, like My Cousin Vinny, White Men Can't Jump.
Good movies.
Encino Man, I remember watching that a bunch of times when I was young. I don't like Rick Moranis, but Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, A League of Their Own.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. That's good.
Also, while the TV show is much better, Buffy the Vampire Slayer came out that year in movie form.
Yeah.
There's
So
just
Joe's not getting swayed at all.
there's no way I'm getting swayed. Like you said, Mighty Ducks came out that
You know
year.
what else I love about this list? This is also just a concrete list of, at least back in the day, because everyone does Netflix now, but a concrete list of I'm channel surfing. I'm halfway through this movie, blank, insert whatever. Yup. Here we go. Sandlot, we're almost done. We're already at the dog chase. Bet. This is on.
Yeah.
All of these movies can fit that parameter.
You're right, but name the last time you've seen these on TV.
Sandlot within the last year.
Okay.
I also haven't had TV within the past 6, 7
So that might
years.
hurt you.
And that also might go to a
also,
combination
how often
of
are
how
you
we
watching
wa-
TV.
Yeah, how like
That's what I'm saying. Like Netflix, you don't do that anymore. But back, like, not even back in the day, 5 years ago, you would
You're right.
channel surf.
Oh yeah.
And if you would find one of these, like, even when I was in high school or like early college, if I'm channel surfing, like for some reason TBS is showing A Few Good Men, I'm praying that it's on before the big scene with Nicholson and him, and I still just like turn it on and leave it on.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, and actually I went out of my way to watch The Mask the other day, so
Hey, man.
I wonder if that's a thing they'll ever do to just to mix it up. Like Netflix or someone like that will have like pick a we're so specific now, but I wonder if like eventually there'll be a branch out of this. Like pick a decade. You'd be like 90s, and it'll just start a 90s. Like what do you want? 90s comedy, 90s action, 90s something. You just click it, and it'll do a random one. And it can kind of be like almost not Spotify, but what's the other one? Pandora. It's like I'm not really feeling this, and you can click, and you can go through it 3 times, and at that point, it's like okay, watch your own damn movie. Sign Netflix staff. But I think that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, they
No,
kind
that's
of
a really good idea.
it's channel surfing.
it is to a certain extent, and the technology is there because while they don't have
of course
it
it
for
is. It's easy.
I know while they don't have it for something like that, they have it for The Simpsons where you can go random and it just pops
Gives
you
you
on
a
a
random
and gives you a random episode.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of interesting. If like, there's definitely days where we've all done it. And we all joke about it. You're on Netflix for 30 minutes. You don't see anything you like, and then you go to bed.
Yeah.
Like at that point, leave it to a higher power. That higher power being
I actually
Netflix.
would agree with that because I sometimes spend more time going through Netflix wondering what I'm going to watch than watching it.
Yeah.
But if there was an option where like Joe, I know you've been cranking through Buffy the Vampire Slayer lately. When was that? Early 2000s.
late 90s, early 2000s.
Late 90s. If you could be like, yeah, I'm kind of feeling that timepiece right now. Go to like early 90s or early 2000s, late 90s. Click. Oh, happy mistake. Jurassic Park's on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. Why not? I think they will see kind of a trend with that of people. I mean, maybe not soon, but in a while, of people not wanting as much direct choice as possible. Still wanting the ability to choose, not to be
But having the option
direct
of
choice, but
having
having the option of like, I want to
randomizing it.
relinquish control.
Right.
But only if I get to choose to do it. And this would be how.
Yeah, can I get a 3 Ys with onions and give me some extra ketchup?
You want onions on it?
Yeah, extra onions.
Okay, so onions on it.
Yeah, the 3 Ys.
Yes, alright.
As usual, we end every episode with What's Piquing Our Interest, where we just say what's piquing our interest. As per tradition, Garrett, what's piquing your interest?
2 things today? 3 things today?
1.5 today.
What's a half? What qualifies as a
I'll
half?
show you. So my first full peeking is remember that Artifacts Plus Spider-Man statue I was
Yes.
excited about? They have announced the second one, which is Spider-Gwen in that series.
Of course it is.
So that went on pre-sale today, so I will be getting that.
Is that your full or half?
That's my full.
Okay.
My half is what we were talking about earlier before we started recording. It's just the God of War series, and how like the new they released a gameplay trailer, and I think it was like a demo actually, but it looks really good. It's like God of War set in a Skyrim setting, and I'm okay with that.
I like that.
So
I don't know if Sam does.
but yeah, that's I'm okay with that. It's still the same Kratos. I don't know quite how I feel about the direction they're trying to go with it, because they're like, oh, he's trying to distance himself from this past in Greece and everything, and like killing the Greek pantheon. So he's moved up to
Well, yeah, there's no more Pantheon.
yeah.
Pantheon's gone.
He killed
took
it.
care of that.
But he's trying to like move past that point in his life and like get over that and like kind of quit giving in to his rage all the time. So it's gonna have a lot of like father-son dynamic, because he's got like this adopted son who will also like feature into how the game plays and stuff. He'll be like an assist character. So I don't know.
I think it's an interesting. I think
It's an interesting dynamic, and I'm ready to see it.
Certainly, because the first God of War games were all about rage and finally achieving vengeance. And the question is always, once you achieve vengeance, is there anything else? Like, what's next? And I think that's an interesting question that can answer. I'll give a spoiler alert. He's still going to be super angry all the time.
Yeah.
So he made it about 5 minutes into that trailer without being like yelling at his kid for being stupid, not killing a deer, and then killing a giant cyclops. So it's like, you know what's coming.
Sam, what's piquing your interest?
Piquing my interest, oh my God, that super awesome Underworld trailer.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, because it's so bad.
So bad or so good?
My interest is piqued because I can't believe that we're going to see it.
Yes,
We're going to see it. But it looks horrible. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit with what else is going on in the universe.
Which is
or
funny
what
because
has
we saw
already
the last
happened.
installment for another show that we used to do.
The trailer shows a minute and a half of everything that's happened up until then, and then the rest of the trailer has nothing to do with that. It makes no sense. And now she's apparently a ghost vampire. It looks super bad. But now
ghost
she's wearing a
vampires
white
are
coat.
Well, that would be the ghost vampire.
Yeah, duh. Joe, what about you? What's got your interest piqued?
Well, also things that don't really make sense. They do, but I don't. I thought I used to like the idea of an anthology series, like what American Horror Story does, or there's something else that's good doing it. I can't think of that now, but there's other shows now that are starting to do like, oh, these seasons.
True Detective.
True Detective. That was another show.
Yeah.
Narcos is apparently going to be doing that as well.
Really?
I watched the first season of Narcos.
No, because the second season is about it. Go, you finish what you're saying.
So I watched, and this is not a spoiler, because if you know history and you saw any of the first season, you know where they left off. Narcos, the first 2 seasons have revolved around Pablo Escobar, his rise, and a eventual downfall, and the detective that tried to get him out. Season 2 ends with the end of that story. And if you know history, you know how Pablo Escobar's story ends.
Yeah.
They only left a year left to tell going into season 2. So season 2 takes place over a year. Narcos was just renewed for seasons 3 and 4, which they have announced will bring on a new cast and now change the focus on drug lords throughout the 1980s and their potential downfall. I have yet to actually start Narco season 2, but I am going to and really want to watch
I
it.
don't know how I feel about that.
See, that's the thing. I don't like that idea either. This worked great. And actually, I felt they rushed too much with season 1. I felt there was like 2 or 3 seasons worth of story they could have told in season 1.
Yeah.
And instead, they kept jumping. After an episode, they jumped like 5 years. They would jump like 6 months. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, wow, you could have really like fleshed this out, made this a little bit more. I mean, sure, take some liberties. It doesn't have to be exact. But part of the fun of it was watching Pablo's rise and watching these guys try and take him down and failing sometimes at each turn.
Yeah.
That's not what it didn't seem like your main intention was to create an anthology series. So switch gears.
Right, but it also comes to a point where you're saying the series is doing really well. How do we continue this longevity using a title that already has buzz? This is what we do. What do you want them to keep doing, though? What would you prefer? To keep going about? I mean, this can only go so long.
That's the point. I would prefer
just
to
end it.
Yeah. If that's your story, end it.
But then you can also say that is my story and it is over. Like,
Right.
oh, do you remember the Narcos about Escobar? That was awesome. I didn't watch the rest of it. Just like that's what everybody does with True Detective. It's all season 1 was awesome.
True.
Season 2 was
A show.
But yeah, it's all about season 1. So I think you can. This is the one option where you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too bummed out.
No. But hey, if you want to tell us how to keep the same show and not
Cake
change
it and eat
name, I was going to do a better one, but now I'm just all messed up and can't do it.
If you want to show us how to have your cake and eat it,
There you go. There's many different ways you can do so. You can email us at 3wiseradio@gmail.com. Contact us via Twitter at 3wiseradio / #3wiseradio. Find us on Instagram at 3wiseradio or on Facebook at 3wise Media. Also on YouTube at 3wise Media as well. Our sister podcast is Movie Versus, and I think that's going to do it for us this week. Join us next week when we unbox another Loot Crate.
Here's hoping. Loot Crate. It's old. It's from August, but you know what? We moved. Times are changing. Got to keep up.
We'll see you next week.
3 Wise Radio is a production of 3 Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.